everyone, and welcome to our today's session. Thank you so much for being with us today. I see there are a lot of you live with us, so let us know from where you are and what is your name. That's going to be super excited to have so many like-minded individuals who are attending the same webinar today. So my name is Alina. I'm an Education USA advisor, and here is Education USA Virtual with another interesting webinar. You have our QR code that would redirect you to our website. There you can find a lot of information about articles, MOOCs, and the events that we're gonna have for next month. Just a spoiler for the next 2 months, we're gonna dedicate it specifically to webinars for standardized tests and for English proficiency tests. So if you are now thinking to take your TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, Duolingo, or IELTS, just be sure that you will get an actual webinar from us with tips, tricks from the educators, representatives from the tests that are interesting for you. So yes, as I've said, and I mentioned previously, we are here with the last webinar for May, which is a very important one because we are talking about a topic that is very, very important, specifically for undergraduate students or for students who are, for example, applying this fall for their undergraduate studies in the US. And we're going to talk today about the Common App. So be active. We will have here Jameia from Common App that will present us and will give us a lot of tricks and a lot of things, a lot of insights about Common App. So we are very happy to have you, Jameia, today with us. I will just give you the floor to introduce yourself, and then we can just move to that great presentation that you would give us today.
Thank you so much. Hello to everyone. No matter what time zone you're in, I hope you're starting off or ending your day very well. I'm happy to be with you today to talk about the Common App. And we're going to jump right in to start our conversation about what the Common App has to offer for you as you matriculate through post-secondary education. So let's get started. I am sharing my screen. There we go.
Great.
All righty. So today, I am the director of student engagement programs. I work with a team of colleagues that you see on the screen. And what we do is we work with students and oftentimes student supporters to talk about what the Common App platform is and what services it provides. Today, we'll cover a little bit about the Common App community, how to approach your application, some tools that you can use, and of course, we'll have time to answer your questions. Of course, I know you've provided some in advance, and you may ask some additional ones today, and we'll take time to do that. Let's talk about the Common App application. It's an online application platform. You can apply to 1,100 plus colleges in the application. You can manage those applications as well and connect to other support resources. Again, we have 1,100 plus members. 300 plus of those members are public universities or state supported universities within the United States of America. They come from 50 plus states, as well as DC, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. We have 50 plus international members as well that are part of our Common App membership, housed in 15 countries outside of the United States. This is a quick tool that you can use to kind of determine what colleges fit for you. We call it our Reach Higher Pathfinder. It is our college fit tool that students can use to determine what list of colleges that I can narrow down my search to that would fit me best. When we talk about, is it an academic match? Do they offer their major, the location, financially, does it work for you? What types of offerings that it has to support whatever your needs are. And so on the right-hand side, you'll see a QR code where you can scan and you can get, we have an English and a Spanish version available of this document. Feel free to scan this document, take advantage of this resource. We have all types of definitions and pathways for you to be able to help find your fit. Inside the application platform, there are going to be three decision types that you can apply for, that will range across memberships. Some memberships will offer two decision types, some will offer all three types of these decisions. You'll either see an early action application, which means that you receive an early response to your application, but it is a non binding decision. You can wait until the traditional decision date of May 1st, which just passed about 20 days ago, to commit. Also, early decision is another decision deadline. This is a binding decision deadline. When you're applying via early decision, you're saying to the institution that if you admit me to this institution, I am committing to come here. And then also you have regular decision. That's also a non-binding agreement. That means you don't have to attend the university. This is the most common type of application. It sometimes comes later in the application cycle, which means that it could be a space available deadline. So there are opportunities to apply early via early action or early decision, a non-binding or binding decision. So you want to keep that in mind as you navigate each application. How to approach the application. Of course, our website is commonapp.org. There are lots of resources there as well. You'll see here that we have our Find Colleges tab where you can search the 1,100 plus members that we have. Information how to apply to college. We have some application guides here under Apply to College to support those efforts in how you apply to college. Here, if you have not created an account, I'll show you how to do that in the next slide. But if you need to sign into your account, you can sign in here. We also have a mobile app that is the same secure, streamlined application platform that you would have on a desktop or a laptop computer. You could do that from the convenience of your mobile device. You would just need to go to your Google Play Store or your App Store to download our Common app, and you'll be able to access the application. Here, if you have not created an account, here's a good time to stop now, hover over this QR code here, and you can get to our link to create an account. If you're for the first time starting in college, you're going to be applying as a first year student. You will select the account that represents you. You'll enter some personal information, and your account will be created, and then you'll be able to explore the site, start adding colleges to your My College list, etc. This particular cycle, when you open up the screen on August 1, if you've accessed our platform prior to August 1, you'll see a different look right now in the application. We have some fresh look and feel updates that come to our application that will go live on August 1. You'll see we'll have a new menu on this side. Your My Common application tab will look just a slightly different, but there'll be minimal changes to how you complete the application. If you have started to fill out your My Common application, that information will remain there as well. And we're updating it to work for different screen sizes and across accessibility needs. You'll see here, this will be a refreshed dashboard. On the left-hand side, you'll see your My Common application. That's your common application information that you're filling out that will go to all colleges that you apply to. The My Colleges tab is the tab that is the colleges that you have added to your list. For example, you'll see here open, this particular student has added 5 colleges to their list, and they are looking there. Then also, it is your college search, where you can search for more colleges to possibly add to your college list. And then also, there are other resources there as well. The writing section will remain the same. We have 7 essay prompts that you can choose, including a topic of your choice, 650 word limit available, and those essay prompts are staying the same from a few years now. We also have our activities section where you can report up to 10 activities that you've participated in outside of the classroom. And then also, there's a new question that we're adding around responsibilities and circumstances to give you more opportunity to go in depth about things that you are doing outside of the classroom. An example would be you're working at a paid job to assist your family, you're taking care of younger siblings, you're assisting a family member in your household who has some healthcare needs that you're interpreting or translating for family members. There are lots of things that are happening as you navigate education, and so we want to make sure that you're sharing that with the college to which you are applying. Of course, there's a section for standardized tests where you can self-report your test scores, including your international English proficiency test scores. But just know those official scores are going to be required by the members to come from the testing agencies as well. Again, this is your mycologist tab. When you hone in on the mycologist, you'll see all of the information there where you can submit that individual college application, information about their application timeline. Also, there are recommenders where those some members require recommendation letters. You can invite a recommender to write a recommendation on your behalf, and that also happens under each of those colleges tabs. You'll be able to invite a recommender if they require you to have a recommendation letter. You can go to our YouTube page for additional tools. We have walkthroughs of our first year application, also breaking down our essay topics, activity section, as well as answering some frequently asked questions. We also have on our website, I referenced this earlier under the apply for college tab. We have some application guides, handouts available in English and Spanish, and other family resources. We offer one-to-one virtual mentorship within the application that you could sign up for. It's a free mentorship to support you. And we offer 24/7 support to support as you navigate your application. You could connect with us on social media. I wanted to share that so we can follow up, and we have content around our application as well. All right, that brings me to the end. I wanted to provide an overview before we jumped into our questions. So from there, I'll yield back so we can get started on our questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, very practical and very, very fast. I really love that. I know students really love that. So now we start with the questions. We have a bunch of them that have been submitted by the students who have registered before this event. And we would highly encourage you to submit your question now, because this is a live session and you can get the answer immediately from Jameia. So one of the first questions that we got in advance is, I would like to know how most of the university colleges evaluate international students, and are there institutions which give scholarships to students with high GPA? I suppose that this might be a question that might be related to specifically this webinar. So I guess we can just suggest here, because we are answering almost all the questions that we get in advance. We can suggest to the student to address to his or her Education USA advisor in the region, which you can find on our website, the nearest location or your nearby Education USA center, and who is the advisor. Additionally, for sure, any students can get scholarships, and it's not depending for sure, and it's not mandatory that it's your GPA that is going to be decided. You already know, if you started with your research, that they have a holistic admission, so you might excel at any other application that you have made. In your application package, there are a bunch of things that you would have to submit. So the GPA is not definitely one of the most important. You might have extracurricular activities or some other things that might influence the decision of the admission commission. So a lot of tips that you can get from the advisors for sure. Then the next question.
I would like to add one thing referencing that about the scholarships. If you go to our website, commonapp.org, I've referenced the Find Colleges tab where you can search our membership. Under that financial aid tab in that search membership, you'll see a box where you can check that shows offers aid for international students. There, you'll find our memberships that have spotlighted that they do offer aid for international students. That'll be a good starting point to you as well if you want to know what members that are part of our application platform that do have some aid opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The next question, which is actually related to Common App, what kind of activities are better to include in our Common App application? Because we have space to include only 10 activities, but I have twice as much activities. So things that the students would struggle every time.
That's a great question. So, one of the things that are key to that, I hit it on our new responsibilities and circumstances question, because sometimes students are including responsibilities and circumstances in that section. You can take that particular information and put it in the responsibilities and circumstances section, and then that frees up your activity section to really focus and hone in on those specific, unique activities that you have. For instance, things where you have leadership positions. So, do you have clubs that you are a part of in your high school where you are president, vice president, secretary, or some type of office that you hold, leadership that you hold? Also, if you've done unique research, you shadowed a doctor. Maybe you want to be a doctor and you spent some time working at a doctor's office and shadowing a doctor, or participating in a unique scientific summer camp where you had some type of experience and you're doing this on a consistent basis. So you want to think about how, whatever your major is, what your desire is, what institution that you're entering, how the activities that you're sharing would shape what you want to do for the future, and what you can present to that institution about how you'll be a valuable member of their community.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this tip. We also tell students that they have also the additional information section, and some of them, which they consider they have not listed in their extracurricular list, they can also submit that there. So I guess that can also be an option.
That's a good note to know. This year, we have decreased the word count on that additional information section because we added the responsibilities and circumstances section. So make sure that you are kind of valuing what you put in each place to make sure all of your information is shared.
Okay. One more struggle for the students, I think, because now they would have to think twice when they would have, to choose between those two sections where I
Yeah,
list what.
but very more places to
Right.
still include all of your experiences. So we
Clear.
still have much more space, just making sure that you're organizing and structuring. And just the keynote, you can start working on your activity section now, edit it as much as possible all through the summer, refine it, decide you want to pull in, take out, all of those things will be available.
And we still have a limit number of characters, right? Is 150 still, or is it longer, or not?
In what section?
For this, for the extracurricular activities for each section, how many
You
characters
have
do students
10
include?
activities that you can report. There is a brief section where you can give a description, but there are also points where you can describe a little bit more too as well.
Awesome. Okay, the next question. Do grad schools often use the Common App?
We do not have graduate schools on the application. There are some institutions, of course, that offer graduate programs, but we are undergraduate application.
Awesome. The next thing, if I'm interested in applying to a community college first and then transferring to a four-year university, can I still use the Common App for that path?
We're starting a journey of adding community colleges to our first year application. We have a limited number available now. We'll add a few more when the application opens on August 1. So, depending upon what community college you're referencing, there may be an opportunity. You can also search those in our Find Colleges tab as well. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. The next question, what sections of the Common App do international students most often have difficulty with, and what is the best way to complete them?
That's a great question. I haven't heard of a section that international students most have difficulty with, because I think that you also have shared experiences in your high school career. So you should be able to navigate each of those sections of the applications. And that's on the my common application side. Now, each college has an opportunity to ask additional questions. And of course, that is up to their discretion. And so there are two sides of the application to navigate. There's the My Common application side, and then there's the side that comes with what those institutional requirements may be per member. But you should not have any difficulty. We're continuing to evolve our application each year to create a seamless experience for each student that encounters it.
From my side as an Education USA advisor, I would say that the section the students would struggle with is extracurricular activities, because
Mm.
they have a limited number of characters for each activity, and they wouldn't know, like in the previous question, they wouldn't know what activity they should list. And I think it's a great thing that you have already shared some tips on how they need to provide that. For sure, we encourage the leadership activities that the students have done in the past or currently. Also, any activity that you are that it's taking your time. That's also very important. Even taking care of your siblings, that's also an extracurricular
Mhm.
activity, as you already have said. So, and also sometimes the students would struggle with submitting, in that limited number of characters, they would miss to write the number of hours they are dedicated to this specific activities, or the work that they have included, the time that they have allowed to this activity. So
Yeah,
that's
it's why I always encourage you to work on that. If you're applying, if you're going to apply starting in August 1, that's why I encourage students to start working on that now so that you're going through each section and you're filling in the information and you're not feeling rushed when you get into the actual application season. So if you are in your third year going into your final year of high school, you want to start thinking about that while you have time, to actually fill in that information, because sections can be missed, and that's vital information that you want to make sure that you don't miss out and share. I agree with you.
okay. The next question that we received before: can I send the results of the language exam after filling an application to the university?
You would send that directly to the university. Once you submit your application to the institution, you will not be able to go back and change anything, but you can send those electronically via that testing agency directly to the institution to which you're applying.
And you still can submit them until you send the application. So,
That's
for
correct.
instance, by 1st of December, or by November 15, or yes, when is the regular admission, for example. Okay. What is an application from a Common App? I think the student here wanted to ask what is Common App, I guess. So I think you already listed all the sections that Common App is covering, but maybe just give a general definition of Common App. I think that's maybe going to be even easier.
Sure. We're online application platform. We have over 1,100 member colleges and universities to which students use our platform to apply to. We also offer other resources as well to students to support them as they navigate their college search process.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question: could you please explain how teachers are supposed to upload or submit their recommendation letters in the Common App? Should I invite them through the platform, or is there another way?
Yes. So when you visit your Common App account, under that Common App account, you go to your My Colleges tab. Each college, under that college, you'll have an opportunity to invite recommenders to apply. There are different recommender types. You can invite a teacher. There are also a counselor type, and you can invite other recommenders outside of your school as well to apply, whether it's a coach or a boss if you have a part time job while in high school. Those are some examples of outside of the school that you might invite. There, you'll put in their contact information. They will receive a notice to invite them to complete a recommendation on your behalf for that particular school. So, just a reminder, under each college that you're applying, you'll need to invite a recommender under each of those if they require recommendation letters. Pretty simple process, but you'll need to make sure you complete it for each one.
I totally agree. I have been invited several times as a recommender, so you can also submit your Education USA advisor as a recommender, because they worked with you, let's say, for a long time. Or if you're a CCC student, that's also very helpful, because they would kind of already have a lot of interaction with you, and they can give you a recommendation based on your work with them. Okay, the next question: what makes a strong Common App application stand out? What topics should I avoid in the personal statement? Should I include all awards and certificates, even small ones? I think here we have three questions, so maybe responding them, yes, consecutively will help.
Yeah, so I think what makes a strong application stand out, First of all, be authentic in your application process. You want to make sure that you share the most authentic version of yourself to the institution. You're asking to be a part of a community of students who are also trying to do the same thing that you are, which is pursuing their dreams through education. And so you want to make sure that that college gets a clear vision through the application of who you are as an individual, what type of activities you participated in that you bring to the table, what your dreams are, what your goals are. So in your personal statement, you want to share that. How will you use your education to service society in whatever way and fulfill your dreams? Also, what type of experiences are you bringing to the table that you know will be valuable to their community? What type of person are you? Maybe sharing how you were raised, what family values that you bring. It depends on your essay topic. What contributions that you make. Of course, we have 7 different essay topics in that my common application side that you can use to write an essay. Think about that very, very critically about what type of essay that you think might fit best for each institution. Pro tip: every essay doesn't work for each application. Depending upon how you're approaching that institution, you might write on one topic for one school, but you might also have another essay that you might pick for 2 other schools. So just think about that. You have lots of time now. Again, the essay topics aren't changing, so you can take your time and write maybe multiple essays, really think those things out and have them ready for how you want to apply in the fall. I would say also, should you include all awards and certificates? Depending upon how many you have, there may not be space to include all of those. So you want to think about what awards and what certificates are most valuable to this particular application. You might share 7 different other experiences in another application, depending upon what the college is asking for and what you're looking to provide to them to give a clear, authentic version of who you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The next and the last one that we've got from the students who have submitted questions in advance. How do I register on this platform? Do I need to pay a fee?
Yeah, great question. So again, you can go to commonapp.org. In the top right-hand corner, you can create an account there. Remember, you'll do first-year students, your first time going to college. And the fee can vary by member. So Common App doesn't charge an application to create an account. When you complete your applications for each of the colleges, they will have an application fee that you will incur. Those fees vary by institution.
Awesome. But sometimes you can get the application fee waiver, by the way. So ask the institution. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to get that. So I think that's also valid for students to know. Okay, so now we'll focus to the chat because we got some questions in the chat from the students who are watching us live. You still have time, guys, to submit your questions. So one of the first one is from Elman. Is it possible to send your SAT Super Score, a composite score created by combining students' highest scores from different tests? That's
You can enter your test scores inside the testing section of the application, which can house multiple test settings, and they will see those test scores from each of those settings. A super score will come from the college viewing all of those different testing reports and then determining that super score. So you want to also make sure you send those official test scores via the testing agency to that college, because they're going to use that as their ultimate determinant to look at your SAT super score.
Awesome. Thank you. The next one, what is one thing most students get wrong about the Common App applications or essays?
I think this goes back to that question about being authentic and providing the version of yourself. Most students are sometimes, or not most, some students are not authentic in what they provide. So you want to make sure that you do that, because it is important that they know who you are, everything that you present, all of your documentation, all of that. That is what you want to make sure is authentic, factual, all of those things, and you provide that to the institution. I think you'll be on a good path.
Okay, and from here would come my other question. What about using a lot of AI? Is that noticeable in your Common App application? Because a lot of students are using now a lot of AI, and that can be noticed definitely by us.
It can. A couple of things I'll say around that. Um, there are lots of support resources to provide you to help get a structure. So we call it brainstorming and help you to get an outline together. You can lean on resources to help you to plan and brainstorm, but just remember your words need to be there. There are detection services available within our app. We take that very seriously in our platform. We do have a fraud policy around that, and it includes pieces around AI and all of those things. So you should definitely check that out. We have it available as well. But also, it is easy to pick that up. And so that's why I'm stressing like, it's okay to share all of who you are. School is not looking for students to be perfect because we know that you're ever growing, but you want to work and develop and just refine your experience that you're sharing to them. Spend time on it so that you don't feel pressure to use some outside resource. But if you plan ahead, you'll already have those things available. You can lean on your Education USA advisor and other people to assist you to gather your materials that provide the most authentic version of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The next question, are there red flags that students often overlook when submitting their application?
I'm not aware of any currently.
Okay, I think we kind of touched most of
Yeah.
them in the previous question. So okay, the next question from Sophia: for international students applying to American universities, how many university would you recommend applying to? Should it be 5, 10, or just a few? Thank you so much.
That's a great question. It's up to you. You can apply to up to 20 colleges within the platform. So spend some time determining if those colleges are a fit for you. So it varies how students apply. Um, 10 is probably around the average number of applications that students apply within the application, but there are some that apply up to the 20 that are available. So it really depends on what you're interested in. Some view 5 as a safe. You have some safe schools there. You have schools that you're really interested in, and then a few couple in between in that section. So there are opportunities to either expand or narrow your list. There is really no wrong answer. Just make sure you apply to college. That's the only wrong answer.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think depending on the type of the admission or the decision that you're applying for, either that's going to be an early action, early decision, then from here comes also the number of the universities you are also applying. So sometimes a student can apply just from one university because he or she would apply for early action or for early decision.
Decision. That's correct.
Okay, the next question. Deadlines for community colleges is August 1st. Can I get more information about that?
Our application will open on August 1st. So thanks for asking that. The deadline's not August 1st. Our application will open on August 1st. So just want to make sure I have clarity for there.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, and the last question that we've got in the chat: as an older international applicant with a technical diploma from outside the US, how should I describe my academic background on the Common App so it's understood correctly by admissions? It's interesting. I suppose that the student already has some academic background and he already has a bachelor degree. So I'm not sure either you're applying for a master or a PhD, because Common App is only for undergraduate students. So if we can go in more details here, Pasha. Otherwise, you can also refer to your Education USA advisor, because they would also assist you in the process of writing and describing your academic background in your application. But for your master or PhD, you cannot really use Common App. So, and one of the last question that I think would come from me is also related to what the students also can find on Common App. So we know that sometimes they would also be able to find the average score that the university or the minimum requirements they would ask for. Is that correct or not? Can they rely on this information? Is the information like updated very often on the website?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, under the My Colleges tab, each of the colleges will have that information listed on the right hand side in their section. They update that information at the top of each application cycle. So, when the application opens on August 1, you'll see the refreshed information for that particular application year that college is provided. Oftentimes, if throughout the year something changes for them and they need to like extend a deadline or something, you'll also see that information updated there. So, yes, that information is updated directly by the institution. And so you'll be able to find not only their information there, but they also include links to their websites that will expound on that short, brief synopsis that they provide in their My Colleges section.
I think that's a great resource. So sometimes students wouldn't know about that, but yes, for you guys, especially for those who are in their research process, just be aware that there is this possibility. And I think one of the last thing to specify, we know that not a lot of, not all the universities in the US would use Common App, and they would use their own, right, their own platform to apply. Can we just specify on this? Can we be more specific? Because sometimes students would get confused why they cannot apply for a specific university, let's say through Common App. And why so?
Yeah, so again, we have 1,100 plus members in our org. So that's 1,100 colleges and universities across the world, or around the world rather, that students can use to apply to the colleges, but that does not cover the span of the United States. Of course, we would love every college on our platform, but that is not the case. A good example would be state supported institutions in California. They have their own application to which students can apply. But if you're applying maybe to a private institution in California, they are a part of the Common App. So there are some varying differences. So you can check out, again, if you go to our website, commonapp.org, the Find Colleges tab will be the quickest way to search to see if that particular college is on the application. You can search by state, you can search by the college's name, and there are other ways to search too, but there are ways to find out if that college is a member of the Common App or if you'll need to go directly to that institution.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jameia. I think we are done with all the questions that we got in advance, that we've got in the chat. I hope, guys, for all those who have been with us during this session, all the answers and all the tips that Jameia shared with us were useful. And it's going to be more easy for you to apply via Common App this fall. Good luck to you. We know that sometimes this might be a struggle, but this is not actually the hardest part of your application, I would say. And especially if you have an Education USA advisor, that can be very, very easy. So don't stress a lot about this. Thank you so much. We would love to hear your thoughts on this webinar. We have here a QR code that we would encourage you to scan and to submit your feedback. So we would know which other topics you are maybe eager to hear from us, or you want us to provide. Thank you, Jameia, for your expertise, time, and for this great answers to all the questions that we had, and for this great presentation. Yes, I would wish everyone that we had today with us a great, great evening, because I know it's late for someone, or for someone that is in the morning time. We wish you a great day ahead. Thank you, Jameia, once again, and thank you, guys.